we never really talked football. We haven't talked football in a while. People ask me that all the time, but no, whenever we talk, it's more about he's bringing me some pickled okra or something. We're talking about going fishing or something.
Heading into this game, after all the big games you guys played in last year, does it feel different at this point last year when you've got SEC championship last year, the Rose Bowl, the national championship under your belt this year?
I don't know. To me, it's a little different for me. I missed the national championship for my broken leg, so it's a little different. But at the same time, I mean, it's another game. It's a really big game. It's kind of I don't want to say it's a rematch, even though it is, but we're playing for the SEC championship again, and so it's a real big game.
Charlie, I mean, even though y'all say it's the same type of game, there's got to be an extra level of hype around it when y'all get in there Saturday. So, is there a point during the game where that all goes away and it's about executing and just, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I think it goes right away in the first kickoff. I mean, that's how we practice all week, is just to be sound and execute, during the game, and we practice with crowd noise to get used to it, and with all the hype around it, and really just right when the game starts, it's like, all right, let's lock in and let's go execute our plays that we worked all week and really all year to this point, to execute and win the SEC championship again.
I know you're not a social media guy. We talked about that last time, but I got to think it's kind of hard to escape all the talk. I mean, it seems like every time you turn on TV or turn around, somebody's talking about it. Is it something that you soak in and enjoy, or is it something you block out?
I block out. That's a big reason why I don't have social media. But at the same time, when I do hear about it on the TV or whatever, I just kind of block it out and don't really pay attention to all the big hype around it.
What was the flight back from California like with the broken leg? Was it uncomfortable?
It was horrible. Yeah, I didn't enjoy it.
I mean, how did they accommodate that?
I honestly can't remember. It was just everything happened so quick. The whole game. We were in a rush on the way back because the whole celebration took forever, and we had to really hurry back. And I just know I was in pain.
What was the 9 days like, knowing that you weren't going to play, and how'd you get through that?
I don't know. I was kind of in shock the whole time. Because that's the first time I ever had an injury like that in my career, and it was just kind of, it sucked. But I mean, it's, I don't know. It didn't really hit me until honestly after the national championship that it was that bad.
Did you play I don't know if maybe it's normal, but did you ever play the what if game? Did you look back and say, man, I could have done this? No, never let that happen.
No, I don't. What ifs are dangerous.
What about when you look at it and your perspective, kind of having to sit there and not participate in that game? Was there a helpless feeling at all?
Oh yeah, man, I hated seeing everything happen out there and knowing that I couldn't help. And especially watching us lose at the very last play or whatever. But I mean, the helpless feeling was horrible. I was just like, gosh, man, I can't do anything to help the team out, except for cheering them on the sideline. But it's not the same when you're a competitor and want to be out there.
I want to ask you about Jake Fromm. I mean, from looking back to last year's game to where he is now at this year's game, what type of evolution have you seen in him, both in his game and how he's handled this situation?
I think he's gotten a lot more mature, and he came in very mature, but still a lot more mature. Knows everything on the playbook, and I think he handles himself better in situations, and he's just gotten a better quarterback overall, to be honest.
I know Kirby said it, and other players have said it, that this is not a revenge game, it's not a redemption game, it's just another game. But I mean, for you, that helpless feeling you talked about, and all the things that go into it. I mean, it's just kind of human nature, right? To kind of just really want to be a part of it this time, and have a chance to maybe, knock off the number one team in college football. The team's been up there for a while, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Since I couldn't play in it last year, there's definitely a lot more to it for me, because I had to sit there and watch, and but I'm not trying to overthink in my head, you know what I mean? But I'm trying to go into it, it's hard to grasp, hard to talk about, but just it's going to a real big game, and I was trying not to make too much out of it.
Did you get to hobnob with Quavo and the celebrities since you weren't playing?
Yeah, I was sitting over there, kind of next to him.
I know obviously you weren't there for the second one, but this being the third game for you all at Mercedes-Benz and all the big bowls, same with Alabama, is it a safe bet that neither of these teams are
Yeah, I just think both teams and most of the players on both teams have been in so many big situations and big games already. I mean, it'd just be kind of another big game, nothing too out of the ordinary.
Has it been a healthy dynamic to realize that people really don't expect Georgia to win? I mean, you guys have been favored in every single game. You're supposed to win. You're supposed to win. You're supposed to win. This is the game. It's like, well, how many are they going to lose by? 2 touchdown underdog. Is that a healthy motivator? Does it add a chip for some guys? If you felt an energy from that?
Yeah, I'd say it adds a chip for some guys. But like you asked me earlier, with all the stuff outside, and I just kind of blocked that out, and I didn't even know we were supposed to lose by 2 touchdowns until you said that. So.
When he asked you that question about playing in these big neutral site games, I mean, you guys have had to be on the road a couple times in just kind of ridiculous atmospheres, Auburn, LSU. What would you say is more challenging? Those type of environments at Auburn and LSU, or these type of neutral site games where it just seems like everything's on the line, your season's almost over if you don't win those games?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'd still say the away games because it's the whole stadium is them, and it's harder to hear. When it's a neutral site, it's kind of 50-50, 60-40, and it's a little easier to hear on that purpose. And but to saying that we're a neutral site and it's a bigger game, I just think again we have a lot of mature players on our team, and we're pretty used to. It's different from last year, but for this year, it's we're a lot more used to these big games at neutral sites, so I think we'll be fine.
Were there any players that, reflecting back, and I know there's a lot of leaders on this team, you guys are a player-led team, but when you think back to the bye week, I mean, that was really kind of the turning point. You guys could have gone up or down, and clearly you've gotten better. When you reflect back on that, was there anybody that emerged, any voices that came out that week, or leaders that stepped up that you think kind of helped right the path?
To be honest, I would just like to say it was a team effort, and the loss turned out to be good for us, and it kind of reset the whole team's mind. You know what I mean? And we all realized that we had to work harder, and kind of restart at a lot of basic levels. You know what I mean? To kind of regroup and get going again. And so,
how much of this team? We always hear that teams they take on the personality of their coach. I mean, how much is Georgia Kirby now? What is it about Kirby? How does he seems to communicate with you guys on a different level?
How much is Georgia like Kirby? I'd say Coach Smart has a lot of energy, and so I'd say in a lot of ways, a lot of the players on the team, kind of vibe off his energy and stuff, But I don't know. I can't put much more into that question. I don't know.
You mentioned earlier that what ifs are dangerous. Is that like a to each his own thing? Are there guys on this team that have been motivated by last year's game? Where one play here or there makes a difference.
When I said what ifs are dangerous, I'm just not a big fan of asking what ifs because then it just leaves you never like happy and everything. It's like, man, what if not all the times, and I feel like I could talk 2 hours on that. It's a really deep question, write a paper on it or something, but I just don't like what ifs all the time.
We'll be looking for that paper.
Yeah.
Do tight ends dream of game-winning catches in overtime like last year for the Bama had?
Do tight ends dream about it?
Have you ever pictured yourself like making a championship-winning catch or something like that?
I don't know. I'd say I've dreamed about it before, yeah, but I don't know. I don't think about it all the time. I just love to win, you know what I mean? And however we can win, that's how I'd like to do it.
What makes for a good downfield ball? You always hear coaches preach it. It sounds so cliche, and yet still we see with these long runs that Swift's had or that Holyfield had. We've seen you or Isaac downfield 30 yards. I mean, why are some guys able to do it and some receivers and tight ends just don't seem to do it?
I honestly think downfield blocking is more about just the want-to and the hustle to do it. Because most people will block 5-10 yards or less and kind of call it. But if you want the big touchdowns, we talk about all the time, you got to block downfield because usually it's the last person, the safety or a backside corner, come and make the play. And so, if you're really wanting to bust one loose and score, you got to hustle and get down there and do it.
There's probably a lot of There's probably a lot of downfield blocks that don't play into it. The guy does get stuck.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you find that tenacity to? What's
I
the
don't know.
motivator? I mean, Kirby's going to be looking, the film's going to be on, or.
I'd say there's some of that, some fear of getting yelled at, but at the same time, it's a lot of just self-pride and actually wanting to help your team, and just for me to help my team out in any way I can. If that's blocking, and if that's backside blocking or downfield blocking, if that's what I got to do to help the team win. That's what we got to do.
Thanks, Charlie.
Appreciate it.